Autobiography of Srinivasa Ramanujan. Srinivasa Ramanujan Iyengar was a great Indian mathematician. He is counted among the greatest mathematics thinkers of the modern period. He did not get any special training in mathematics, yet he made significant contributions in the areas of analysis and number theory. He did many important experiments in the field of mathematics which are still used today. His experiments were soon recognized by Indian mathematicians at that time. When his talent was visible to the community of most mathematicians, he was an English mathematician. GAC participated with Hardy. He rediscovered the old popular theorem so that he could make some changes into make a new theorem. From the age of 11, Srinivasa Ramanujan started practicing mathematics with two students living in his own house on rent. He later went to SL practiced advanced trigonometry written by Loney. At the young age of 13, he had become the master of that book and he himself discovered many theorems. At the age of 14, he was also given a merit certificate for his contribution along with many academic awards to complete his school education, and he was admitted to Sambhar Tantra School with 1200 students and 35 teachers. He was a brilliant genius since childhood. He learned mathematics by himself and compiled 3884 theorems of mathematics throughout his life. Most of these theorems have been proved correct. He drew many fundamental and unconventional results on the strength of the intuitive knowledge of mathematics and the unique talent of algebra hypothesis which inspired research to date, although some of his discoveries have not yet been adopted in the mainstream of mathematics. Recently, their formulas have been used in crystal science. Ramanujan Journal has been established for the work being done in the areas of mathematics affected by his work. Early life. Once, when he was a third grade student, his teachers were telling him that if any number was run away from the same number, one would be found. For example, he told that if three mangoes are divided into three people, then each mango will get one mango. At this, Ramanujan asked him, will one get even if 0 is divided by 0? If 0 mangoes, 0 people are distributed, will each get one mango. The truth is that he was talking about indeterminate, which was the subject taught in the class of Inter. Ramanujan was deprived of higher education. Therefore, he proved himself to be theorems of mathematics which had been proved long ago. For some personal reasons and lack of funds, Ramanujan declined Professor Hardy's invitation to Cambridge. Professor Hardy was disappointed by this, but somehow decided to call Ramanujan there. At the same time, Ramanujan got a research career at the University of Madras, which made his life a bit easier, and he was also getting full time for research work. Srinivasa Ramanujan Biography. Meanwhile, after a long correspondence, slowly Professor Hardy agreed Ramanujan to come to Cambridge. Ramanujan was also financed by Professor Hardy's efforts to go to Cambridge. Ramanujan had written over 3000 new sources of mathematics in his notebook before leaving for England. There is an incident in his life in childhood which shows that he started showing interest in mathematics from childhood. One day, when he was in the third grade, the teacher in the class painted three mangoes on the blackboard and asked all the students that if we had three mangoes and three students, then how many mangoes would come in the share of each student. The students sitting in the front rows answered at the same time that each student would get one mango. After this, the teacher insisted on teaching the parts. Then the child Srinivasa Ramanujan asked that, "Sir, if any mango is not distributed to anyone, will every student still get a mango?" Struggling life. When the coming 5 years after Ramanujan broke down completely from his studies, his life was very struggle for his life at this time. Our country, India, was under the British. There were no employment opportunities anywhere in India, and there was no purpose to live the life of people. Everyone just wanted to see their country, India, free. In such a situation, Ramanujan neither had a job nor to get a job. OI large degree that concerned Ramanujan's health advised to them to go home because the day had been spoiled. Doctor's rest day, the love of Ramanujan's mathematics that gave them the motivation to grow in your life. After this, in search of a job, he used to show all his math work that used to be done in the register, and then in search of a job, he met Deputy Collector Mr. V. Ramaswamy Iyer, who was also very much in mathematics. There were great scholars who recognized Ramanujan's talent, and then Ramaswamy Iyer gave him a scholarship for Ramanujan as a monthly salary of Rs 25. Ramanujan arranged where his first paper, Some Properties of Bernoulli Numbers, was published in the Journal of the Indian Mathematical Society, and then fortunately a year later Ramanujan got a clerk in the Madras Port Trust to keep him accountable, got a job, and again Ramanujan started getting time for his love for mathematics. And then Ramanujan got many new started writing math formulas. Correspondence with Professor Hardy. Ramanujan's research was progressing slowly, but now the situation was such that research work could not be carried forward without the help of an English mathematician. Ramanujan, with the help of some well wishers and friends, sent his works to the famous mathematicians of London, but this did not help much. After this, when Ramanujan showed some formulas of his number theory to Professor Seshu Iyer, he suggested to refer him to Professor Hardy, the famous mathematician of the time. In 1913, Ramanujan wrote a letter to Hardy and also sent a long list of theorems discovered by him. At first, Professor Hardy also did not understand fully. Then he consulted his disciples and some mathematicians, and he came to the conclusion that Ramanujan was a rare personality in the field of mathematics. One day, the officer in his office saw him. On inquiring, it was found that Ramanujan is writing some mathematical formulas. On opening the drawer of his desk, all such pages were found which were filled with mathematics formulas. Ramanujan's mathematical genius can be gauged from the fact that many of his theorems remain unsolved even after nearly 90 years of his death. In recognition of his unique talent, the Government of India decided to celebrate 2012 as a National Mathematics Year to commemorate his 125th birth anniversary. Apart from this, his birthday 22nd December will also be celebrated as National Mathematics Day every year. One is the lean body of Ramanujan, the other is very cold weather of London, lack of proper catering system. In this way, Ramanujan got TB surrounded. Until that time, TB effective treatment was not available. The only comfort and proper medical care could save them. But Ramanujan's ignorance of mathematics, arrogance of mathematics did not let him sit still. Even on returning to India, his health did not improve and his condition was becoming critical. Gradually, the doctors also responded. His last time had come to a close. He gave up his life on 26th April 1920 while fighting his illness. He was only 33 years old at the time of his death. The death of this great mathematician was an irreparable loss to the mathematics world. Srinivasa Ramanujan Biography. Conclusion. Never forever give up.